Okay, so it's the 6th of February, and I've got some McDonald's toys, more McDonald's toys, Sonic McDonald's toys. Also, a shirt. I'll pop that one side. Actually, this is a new shirt I'm wearing, actually. Yeah, Primark, whoa, oh, that bloody clicked out of place there. Primark, have reduced these shirts to like £3. Yeah. Didn't have them in for ages, and when they finally did, they're already reduced anyway. So we'll show the first one here. So I finally got, like, I guess you would call this the standard Knuckles release. And also for the first time today, I've been to 3 McDonald's today, and that they were all very close to each other, and that. But for the first time, all 3 McDonald's that I went to, actually 2 of the 3, sorry, that I went to, had actually multiple Sonic figures. One of them even had 4 different ones, and this was one of them. I'm assuming that's probably because the promotion is ending in just over a week. Actually, well, pardon me, it's closer to 2 weeks because it's on the 18th it ends. But yeah, standard Knuckles. I have yet to open this. I am slightly annoyed that the box is a little bit dinged on there, but this was literally the only one that particular McDonald's had. Maybe I can smooth out a bit from the other side. So here he is, looking very happy. Is this one lined up correctly? Not quite on this side. Actually, is he? He might be, actually. Just about. Let's see. But yeah, it's a standard Knuckles. And that's the first one I picked up today. I'm not going to close that box up just yet because I finally also managed to get Super Sonic. My sister already has this, but she bought hers. I think she bought hers either off eBay or Vinted and paid, I don't know how much for it, but it was at least a £5. Whereas, you know, I could have either got this in a Happy Meal or, as I did, I just bought it for 99p. I haven't actually looked at this yet, but there he is, Super Sonic. Is he correctly lined up? With this one it matters less actually compared to the other one, but he does seem to be lined up correctly with the stitching. But yeah, there's Super Sonic. I don't know why they say, ooh, surprise toy, because it's really obvious which one's which, because the only 2 that say surprise toys are Super Sonic and I've got one here actually, the Super Shadow one, but obviously, you know, it's pretty obvious which one's which. But yeah, I'll put that on one side. And then the others, I managed to get the other variant of Knuckles, which is this one. So basically, this is the more common or standard one. This is the other, you know, more electrified one. This is how you tell the difference between them. You can see this one's a slightly darker red compared to this one. This one's more of a burgundy, and that compared to this one. That's how you tell the difference between the 2 of them. But yeah, now the thing is, I've got multiple of these. In fact, I had 3 in total, although one of them I've gave to my sister because she didn't have that one. But here's the thing, because initially I went in, bought this along with the Super Sonic, because they had both of these. And when I was on my way out, I realised, oh, my sister probably will want one of these. So I actually went to go back in, and basically I noticed there was a empty table, but it had like two of these Happy Meal toys sitting on there, and a staff member was actually about to throw them in the bin along with like the discarded, you know, Happy Meal box and everything. And I asked him, you know, can I have these? And he said yes, and just gave them to us. So I could have saved myself 99p, but oh well. Oh well, regardless. So Yeah, which is weird, like, you know, in this day and age, like, I wouldn't, even if I was a kid, I wouldn't have just left it there. I would have taken it. Well, yeah, they were just left there, not even opened. But you can see this one, the difference with this one is that he's got the sort of lightning and that going on with him, if I can show him. Compared to this one, he's also got a bit of a smirk as well. But yeah, you can see like the difference and that between them. But yeah, I don't know which one I actually prefer. I don't know, because both look a little bit odd. Well, this one, it looks like his face is squished a bit like that, and then on that one, it looks like his face is being flattened. So I'm not sure which one I actually prefer. But now it means the only one I am missing is the shadow variant where he's holding one of the Chaos Emeralds. So that actually, is it the Chaos Emerald he's holding? No, I think it's meant to be the Master Emerald. Actually, I can't tell because I've only seen pictures of it. I don't have it in hand. But that's the only one I can't find at the moment. So hopefully I will find it. But regardless, you know, very happy to get these and that. Happy to have them and that in the collection. So yeah, hopefully between now and, you know, when the promotion ends, hopefully I'll be able to get it. If not, on the last day and that, I'm going to go around to all the McDonald's and ask them if I can have the displays. And that, because some of them have said if you come on the date, you can have the toys out of the display. They haven't mentioned whether they're going to charge or not, because if they're going to charge for them, I'm just going to probably just get the one lot, and, you know, me and my sister will divide up the ones that we need out of them. If they are free, then I'm going to as many as possible. And that, because, you know, I might as well have them if they're free. But I would like to get them all boxed. It is nice to have them boxed. But, yeah, there we go, people, there we go. Okay, so it's the 17th of February. I got these a couple of days ago now from Smith's Toys. And it is the Ruin Wave. Oh, that's got them a bit bent on the way back. That one there, it wasn't like that in the shop, but it has gotten a bit bent on the way back. It's annoying, but it is the Ruin Wave of Five Nights at Freddy's figures, so yeah. Now the reason I got this now, so late in the game, is because basically when this wave first came out, I nearly bought it, but then I remembered, nearly, for the past couple of times I bought a wave of FNAF figures, literally a couple of months later, or sometimes even less, they get reduced to like half price, or nearly half price in a lot of cases. So I thought, no, this time I'm going to wait. And I'm glad I did, because they were reduced from $12.99 at Smith's Toys to $7.99. So almost half price. Let's take a look at them. So we've got Ruined Chica. And I will say, these figures look significantly better than the regular versions. And the reason is because, one, there's obviously a lot more detail to them. But the main thing, like if we take a look at the Ruined Roxy figure, the original version, the Security Breach version of Roxy, was infamously, you know, bad because it was basically, I think it was reusing the FNAF World Funtime Foxy head sculpt and body and that, and just slight tweaks to it. Same with Rockstar Freddy, who was just a tweaked version of Funtime Freddy and not a unique sculpt, whereas this is, you know, a completely unique sculpt, and it looks all the better for it. It does look so much better as a result. So yeah, I definitely prefer. This is my favourite figure out of this wave. There's only 3 of them, and that's a pretty small wave. Yeah, they only did these 3. which is interesting because normally they do 4. I'm assuming because most of them, you know, the withered, the 2 ruined, you know, Roxy and Chica figures, I imagine they are mostly just, you know, brand new. I think possibly some of the parts are most likely reused for Eclipse when they did the Sun and Moon figures, and that just tweaked it a bit. But still, you know, really nice figure there. I do keep all of them in the boxes. The only Five Nights at Freddy's figure I don't have is the Fireworks Freddy figure, because it was exclusive to the US and it's ridiculously expensive to import one. Like, at the time, I was looking at about £50 to get that one figure imported to the UK. Now, you know, since he's, you know, long sold out, I'm looking at closer to like £70 to £100. Which, yeah, no, so that's the one figure I probably will never get. But, yeah, just talking about FNAF briefly. So, a few days ago, and that, the trailer and announcements for Five Nights at Freddy's Secrets, I think it's called Secrets of the Mimic, I think, if I remember rightly, got announced and that, and I'm hoping that game, obviously we'll know in the future. If you're watching this in the future, you'll know. I'm hoping I doubt it's the case, but I'm hoping it steers us more towards the horror. Because, you know, FNAF, unfortunately, has basically, you know, almost completely abandoned it. I mean, Ruin, you know, it had a better atmosphere. It did have a better atmosphere, but nothing about it was at all creepy. The only thing really in Security Breach that I'd say was creepy was the endos. And that's where basically you look at them and then you look away, they move. That was the only, like, you know, creepy thing about them. And that, but we kind of did lose that. And obviously it's, you know, people say, oh, it's because they're appealing to kids, and it is true, but it seems to be appealing, like, as time has gone on, I've noticed they keep going younger and younger and younger, and that, and obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's has been around now for nearly 11 years, and that, I mean, I remember when the first game came out, I was in high school, I was 15 at the time, so... Yeah, but it's just a shame that the horror element and the creepy factor is almost being abandoned. I know it's gone on a more sci-fi route, but you know, you can still have sci-fi and keep the horror. I mean, look at the Alien franchise, and that, you know, that is sci-fi horror. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive one or the other. But that's you know, that's just my little thoughts on that on the matter. But yeah, not that, you know. And also, I will say, the Mimic, to me, at least for now, we'll see in the next scene, but the Mimic being all AI, everything, I'm just, you know, everyone's bloody sick of that term. To be honest, the fact that it just mimics other things, like, it doesn't make it the most interesting character. I know people were sick to death of William Afton. I know that. But at least William was interesting. You know, like, you know, he was by the end, he was more like, you know, a typical slasher villain. By the end, and yeah, I love my Freddy's. I love my Michael Myers and that, and my Chucky's. And Jason, I do love. I'm not the biggest fan of the Friday the 13th films, just because they are very, very samey and boring. When Jason is not on screen, most of them. I will say that. But. Yeah, if you were going to, like, the thing is, like, the rumour was our baby's going to take over, it's William Afton's daughter. It's just like, okay, that, you know, I'd be more interested in that than just something that mimics other things. But we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Maybe it will be interesting, maybe it won't, I don't know. But, if you do lose a good, like, the thing is, if you don't have a good villain and that in the franchise, if you don't have a good villain, then generally that's kind of a death of the franchise type thing. Not that it will die, like, at the moment, you know, it's too big to feel currently. Currently, it would have to be, I mean, like, for example, Security Breach and that original Security Breach. Like, if that was, an unknown franchise type of thing, if that wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's, the amount of glitches and buggy that game was, that could have instantly killed any newcomer to it, instantly. Obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's kind of too big to feel at this point, or if it does ever feel, it has a little bit of a rest, comes back. Obviously, we've got a second film and that coming out this year, I think. Though I think it might be coming out in November. I can't remember. But yeah, the first film is like, I would rate it. To be honest, thinking back at it now, and that, I'd probably rate it maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. Yeah, maybe a 5. Like, it wasn't, it wasn't horrible to sit through, but like it was like good enough, barely good enough. It's like the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's barely good enough. Like, it just enough to satisfy you. And that, although I don't know which out of the two I'd rather watch. Again, to be honest, like, the Sonic movies, I could rewatch any of them any day, quite happily. Whereas the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I've got to be honest with you, even though I own the limited edition Star-Tin with the 4K Blu-ray and that in there, I've still yet to rewatch it since I saw it at the cinema. And one of the main things that's putting me off it is because, one, it's like, it's like one of those things, once you've seen it once, it's just like, I don't have the real desire to go back and see it again. But also, Chris Pratt is just crap. He just is. He really is. Yeah, like, and the fact that he'll, like, to be honest, I don't know if I'll go see the second one. I doubt I will. If I do see it, I doubt it'll be at the cinema. I imagine it'll be from home. When it comes, like either streaming it or something, maybe. Who knows? Who knows with that? Maybe not. Yeah. Interesting thing here. Obviously, I did an unboxing today of this Paddington in Peru. And what's interesting about this is, obviously, to set the 4K disc has all the special features on there, which is important because if you buy the 3-pack, the film 3-pack of the 4K Blu-rays, it only has the 4K disc, so you don't miss out on any special features. What's interesting is, 4 of the 6, like 6, 5, no wait, and 3 of the 5, there we go, 3 of the 5 special features on Paddington in Peru are in Dolby Vision. Someone set off the smoke alarm in the house. Hey God. Always bloody happens. It's because the smoke alarm is unfortunately right outside the kitchen door. And the oven is literally, like, they're literally about, I don't know, 4 feet away from each other. There we go. So if you have the kitchen door open when you open up the oven, obviously, basically, if you got anything in there, everything that evaporates out can easily set off the smoke alarm. Bit of a design flaw there. Anyway. Yeah, interesting they were all in Dolby Vision, which is interesting. 2 of the special features aren't. I think all of them have already been released on YouTube anyway. I think. I know most of them have. There's like a 15-minute behind the scenes, and then there are a couple of tours around a couple of the sets. Those are only a couple of minutes long. One is around Aunt Lucy's home for retirement bears, and the other is around the Browns' residence. and those are in basically those are in SDR. I'm assuming they're probably also in 1080p. I don't know. But yeah, I've been unable to rip it yet. I'm waiting for Make MKV to update that. But anyway, there we go. Had a little rabbit on there. So yeah. Okay, it's the 24th of February. Is this in focus? Yes, it is. And this should be the conclusion, and that to my Sonic Happy Meal toys, because yeah, there was one I was unable to get, sort of. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I bought this one off Vinted. It cost me, I think it was $4.85. And basically I decided to, I bought this on the last day after going to every McDonald's, basically, in my area. And most of them didn't, like, basically, there was only one that still had any of them, and it was, I think it was Super Shadow. All the others had already moved on, like, days before to the next thing. Anyway, the seller actually sent this in a box. So, yeah, plus for that, because, I'm bothered about the boxes for these, so yeah, I'm glad they didn't just shove it in a carrier bag. So this is the variant, and that of Knuckles, and what is different about this Knuckles? There we go, he's holding the emerald. That's the difference, he's holding the emerald, and this box is almost identical to the regular box. Almost identical, except he's doing a different pose. So, yeah. Pardon me. Now, fun fact, my sister actually previously bought one of these, like, a couple of weeks ago, actually. I think a week or two ago. But hers, she didn't know this at the time, but hers actually just had, it was a mistake. Hers just had the other variant of Knuckles, the more common one, which isn't holding the emerald. So, yeah. As I said, this cost me $4.85. Now, this was basically, you know, last ditch resort to get, so yeah. I think considering the postage, like most of this was postage cost, and considering that, you know, I've got them all now, I'm happy. So yeah, the promotion ended. Now, here's the thing, I'm going to tell a little story now. So, I was finding it very hard to get all of the Happy Meal toys, and so were most people, actually, because most McDonald's and that, again, up until like the last like week, and that most McDonald's and that pretty much all McDonald's only had was just the one type at a time. It was always the same, like 3 or 4 on a loop, which made it hard to get them all. Now, I had anticipated this, and what I did is, like, I remember at the end of January, because I didn't know how long the promotion was at the time. At the end of January, I went into my local McDonald's and asked them if I could have the display and that once the promotion had ended. And I was told, basically, you can't have the cardboard out of this display, you know, the cardboard that holds the toys in there, but you can have the toys themselves, which was a sight. Fine by me, okay. So they took my name and number down at one McDonald's. I also went to a second one. So I went to one at Kingston Park. The other one was at South Shields. And on both occasions, I spoke to the manager on both occasions, who took down my name and number and just said, okay, come back on the 18th of February and you can have the toys out of the display. I did talk to another couple of McDonald's and they said, oh, you'll just have to come on the day and see. Which was like, okay then. But those two, you know, I'd basically secured. Or so I thought. So on the 18th of February, last week, I went to, you know, my local McDonald's and that. And the same manager was there, and that was the same people there. Unfortunately, they could not find where they had put the toys for me. They'd actually put them, they said that someone had put them aside for us, but that person wasn't in at the moment. So they said, oh, come back later on, and when that person's in, and we should find them by then. I did go back later on. I went there initially at I think 11 o'clock, and then I went there again at 4:30-ish, 4:15, 4:30 in the afternoon. But still, they could not find them. Anyway, between then, I went to South Shields McDonald's, because that was the other one where I secured them. And basically, after waiting ages and that, there trying to, because basically by the time I got there, it was closer to the lunch rush. So I waited, and when the manager did finally speak to me, he said, "Oh, you've got to come back tomorrow, and that this is the last day of the promotion, so we can't give them away until tomorrow." Yeah, that's not, even though that, I went, "Oh, okay." Even though he told me to come back on that day. So, yeah, I was thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. Because, £6 a ticket, like for a day ticket, which, yeah, that's part of the reason why I bought this, because it was cheaper than buying, another day ticket to go all the way down there again. And also, something I was pondering up until that point was whether or not they were going to charge me for them. Because obviously they're not in boxes, they're just the loose toys. And turns out, yes, they do charge for them. And yes, it is the same price, the regular price that they charge for them. The only reason I know this is two reasons. Number one, I heard the manager at South Shields McDonald's saying, "Oh, there's a customer and that who will come tomorrow and wants to buy the toys out of the display." So yeah. Now, why they couldn't sell me to them right then? Because the thing is, they didn't have any Sonic toys left. They'd already moved on to the next promotion. So again, I don't know why. But then there was, I then went to the ones in Gateshead, which is Gateshead Metro Centre, where there's two McDonald's that are literally a 5-minute walk from each other. Like, they're dead close. The first one I went to had their display. They didn't have quite all the toys, but they did have because the display had some missing, but it did have the Shadow that I wanted, and I asked them, and again, this McDonald's had moved on to the next promotion. Actually, no, that's a lie. I went in there, and I noticed that basically they had the new display in. So they had the new display of the new toys for the next promotion, which is just something generic. I think generic McDonald's toys. And I asked, "Do you still have the Sonic toys?" Because I remember they didn't have all of them, but I did remember, they definitely had this one. And they said, "Oh, you'll have to come back tomorrow. We can't sell them to you today," even though that they'd already taken them out of the display, put the new display up, and didn't have any of the Sonic toys left, and were just on to the next promotion. So then I went to the next McDonald's along, again, which was a 5-minute walk away, and they said, "Unfortunately, we've already given all the toys out of the display away," and they'd already moved on to the next display with the new toys and everything. And I mentioned how at the other McDonald's, they wouldn't let me have them, and they said, "Oh, we're not supposed to give them away before the promotion ends unless we've ran out of the toys." And I said, "Well, they have ran out of the Sonic toys. They're all gone." And they said, "Oh, well, they should be able to sell you them or give them to you, no problem." So, yeah. Anyway, I went to various other McDonald's, and basically I found it was one of two things. Either, number one, they'd already given the toys away, or number two, they weren't giving them away until tomorrow. And this I tried 8 McDonald's, I think, at this point, and then on the 9th one, which was one in Greenchester Street, Newcastle, that one said, if you come tonight, so later on tonight, they didn't say specifically what time, we can sell you them then. Now, that one didn't have a full display, but they did have this Shadow. So I thought, okay, if worse comes to worse, I can always come back here. Then, the funniest thing happened. I went to another McDonald's again, 5 minutes away, and this is where the unique thing happened, when, you know, because most of them would say one of two things: either we can't sell them until tomorrow, or we've already given them away. This one said something different, and this, because the guy who came up, you know, to serve me, I knew exactly who he was, because he was my friend from school, from high school and sixth form. And actually, if you go on my 6 Sec Adventures on my other channel, 6 Sec, and look at 6 Sec Adventures, he stars in the very first one of them. So yeah, he doesn't recognise me every single time I've met him since. Like, I only see him on the train every so often now. He doesn't speak to really any of my former friends. He doesn't speak to any of the friends I had and that at the high school and sixth form, because I still sometimes chat with them, and they say, oh no, he doesn't really talk to me or anyone else. He just basically goes to work, comes home and stays there. Anyway, so yeah, every time I don't think he recognised me this time, because when I've met him on the train before, even though I haven't really changed that much in the last, you know, since, you know, 2017 when we were still at school, never recognises me, and I have to tell him who I am, and then he goes, oh yeah, and he goes, oh, you look so different. I don't think I do. Like, the only difference really is I didn't have as big of a beard then. Like, I had a little bit, you know, it was starting to grow back then. Anyway, regardless, what he said to me insulted my intelligence and just flat out lied to me, because I said, I asked him basically, am I able to basically buy the Sonic toys out of the display since you don't have any left? And what he said is, oh, we don't have any Sonic toys. And I said, yes, but what about, can I have the ones out of the display? And he said, no, the display is empty. I went, no, it's not. I've just walked past it. It's empty. It's not empty. It's got the Sonic toys in there. I've just walked past it. He went, no, the display is empty. It hasn't got any toys in it. That we do not have any Sonic toys. And this is where I got annoyed, because I said, yes, you do, because you've got them in the display. And then I was looking behind him, and I said, I noticed in the back there that you've got the Super Shadow Sonic toys. So you do have them. He said, no, we don't. We don't have any Sonic toys. I've got a feeling he wanted them for himself. I've got a feeling that's why. Either that, or he just didn't want to do anything. One of the two things. And he said, no, we don't have any Sonic toys. And that we don't have any in the display, we don't have any in the back. It's like, but I can... It's just like, but I can see them. So in the end, I just walked off. And then later on, and that I decided to... I was looking on LinkedIn, and I picked up this, ordered this, and that. Because I thought, you know, if I have to go out tomorrow... Cause I didn't know whether any of them would actually give us the ones out of the display, out of the kerfuffle I had. And I didn't want to go out the next day going searching for them either. I did, however, go back to that McDonald's that did say I could have it, and that if I came back later on. And I did come back later on at night, around 8 or 9 o'clock, because... I'm going to pause that there a second. Sorry about that. I just remembered I had a bath running, so I had to go check on it. Hasn't overflowed or anything, thankfully, but I've turned it off just to make sure. Anyway, so I went back to this McDonald's because I remembered my sister, obviously, this was the only one she didn't have either. Ironically, she had the box one, but not the toy itself. So I went back to that McDonald's, and basically the guy I spoke to initially was also quite... most of them were perfectly fine, you know, lovely in that. Some of them were just, you know, very neutral, but some of them really want to go out of their way not to be as unhelpful as possible. Because I did ask to see the manager when I came back, because I spoke to the staff member and I said, oh, your manager said if I came back at night, I could have the Shadow toy out of the display. And he said, no, you can't have it. You don't give them away. you can't have ones out of the display. And I spoke to the manager, and they said, I can have it. And he went, no. Manager said no. And I went, well, I spoke to the manager earlier, and they said yes. And that, I'd like to speak to the manager. And he reluctantly went off. I could see him. It was a different manager, but obviously, I think the other manager must have mentioned it to him. Because someone put his thumbs up at his. I thought, great. He came out. He said, which toy do you want? Pointing at the shadow toy. Gave it to us. He said, right, you'll have to go back in the queue to pay for it. So yeah, I did have to buy it. And it was regular price. It was the same price as a McDonald's toy. So, yeah, but basically now my sister owes us £1 for that. But now she has the entire lot. And also, because of a malfunction by wrong one in the box, she's got a box for it as well. So, yeah. It's a bit ironic because I've got a friend in Scotland, actually. A lot of McDonald's in his area, actually, just gave away the toys. Yeah, because they didn't know what to do. Because they apparently, over here, I don't know what it's like in other areas, but over here, it is not an uncommon thing for people to go up and ask to have the toys. And obviously, once upon a time, McDonald's was going to give them away, but now they charge 99p for them. But apparently the McDonald's in Scotland, at least where my friend lives, which is North Ayrshire. Ayrshire? Can't remember. See, that's in Saltcoats. There, apparently, his McDonald's were just like, oh, I don't know if we're allowed to sell the toys or give them away. And that if they're not on a Happy Meal, which obviously they are, which kind of shows like it's an uncommon thing. He said some McDonald's he'd have to buy them, but others they would just give them away. Not the case with any of mine. Every single one I went to charged us, and that some of them I got in Happy Meals. Some of them, it depended whether I had a Happy Meal offer on the app, like if it was a $1.99 offer. But regardless, yeah. I kind of got obsessed with these, didn't I? Just like everything else. I wasn't planning on getting them first, because when I first saw them, I thought, oh, they look shit. And that, by actually having them in hand, I mean, there's a Happy Meal box overflowing with them. Where's the other one gone? Whoop. There's that one. There's the Knuckles one there. There we go. All the Happy Meal toys. All the Sonic 3 Happy Meal toys. I will say infinitely, obviously, better than the Sonic 2 Happy Meal toys, which are toys. They were cardboard. Bits of cardboard now. But, yeah. I don't think I've gone that hard to try and find all the Happy Meal toys, probably, since the Mr. Meng ones. And I don't mean I mean the first time round in 2021, I think it was. Not the second time round. But yeah, the first time round. I don't think I've gone that hard to try and get all the McDonald's toys. And I think this is one of the few times actually ever I've actually gotten all the McDonald's toys. Since I was a kid. Since I was little. And even then, that was a rarity. I think one of the only times I got all... I remember when they had the SpongeBob McDonald's toys when I was little. They had like little games and that you could play on there. And one of them was a DVD as well. I think I I think I got all of them. And that I'm pretty sure that was one of the few I got all of them of. Yeah, most of them obviously I didn't, because most of the time you couldn't. But yeah, there we go. I've had a really long waffle on in this video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed a load of waffling on. Hooray.